All right, guys. Hey, welcome to the podcast. It's going to be our first podcast.
Yep, our first one.
Our first one. We had a practice round a couple of months ago. We had to work some bugs out. We still got a lot of bugs to work out, so bear with us here.
Apologize for any bad sounds, or especially we're at my house.
Yeah,
so we got kids running around, and
might get some feedback too on our mics because we're not really professionals at this yet.
We're just trying to have fun and just talk about issues that are going on around us.
Well, and the reason we started doing this is because we talk about this all the time. Our families, every time we get together, we start talking about politics and stuff that interests us that we enjoy, and nothing's off limits, really.
That's true. We're just regular people that see regular things going on.
Yeah, exactly. And we like to comment on it, just like everybody else does. Everybody likes to talk about stuff like that.
The good thing is that me and you, we disagree on a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
But we're also able to, get together and have fun, and nobody's mad.
Right. No, we're civil. I mean, and that's what we expect everybody to treat everybody else civil. So if you guys catch us online somewhere and you see us or see the comment sections, try to be respectful, because that's what we want.
Be nice, guys.
I trust passion. I appreciate passion. I've got a lot of passion myself.
Yeah.
I know Christian does too. We do it all the time, and we go into it, we go at it, but we're respectful.
And we also apologize for the background. We were just we had a lunch on Sunday after church.
Yeah.
And we just said, hey, let's get together this day and we'll go at it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we did one a few months ago. We put it on the shelf a little bit, and we just impromptu. It's a quick thing. That's why you see wires and you see kind of.
But
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So you want to tell them where we're at? Or?
Yeah. So we're. Just a little bit of background. If y'all saw my earlier little snippets, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm from Texas. I came to Texas. I was born in Texas. I've been in Texas for all my life. I've been moving out since 2013. I moved out, back and forth. I went back a little bit, but I'm in California now, and this is where I'm going to stay. I like California. I lived in New Mexico, like I said, Texas, Colorado, but this is where I want to stay. Hopefully, I'm going to stay here for quite a while.
And I'm from Mexico, but I've been in California all my life, And I just like California. I've been to a few places here and there, but I really like California.
Went to Texas a few months ago.
And I think we're in the perfect location here.
I agree.
Where we live in Northern California.
I agree.
We're about 2 hours from Tahoe.
Nice Tahoe.
And then San Francisco about an hour.
Yeah, it's really nice. And I tell everybody that when I moved in here, centrally located. I know Stockton, everybody talks bad about Stockton, and deservedly.
Yeah.
High crime.
But like I said, us that live here, I guess I don't want to sound like we're used to it, but we like everything. I feel comfortable here.
I do too. I do too. I lived here for 5 years before this. I've been here for, I guess, since October. So.
And I've been here ever since I can remember. So. I've never been robbed or anything. I like my city.
I've been robbed before in Stockton, but I left my garage door open. So it's my own fault.
Yeah, you do that anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. I heard you were recently in San Francisco over the weekend.
We went to San Francisco, my wife and I, for the weekend. Really just a Saturday. And it's been like the third or fourth time we've been there. We love it there. There's so much to see.
And I also saw you on TikToks. You were also in Auburn the day before that, right?
Yeah, we went to Auburn the day before just to do same thing. We just went up there to walk around and see some.
That's
stuff.
real cool because you're able to enjoy life without spending a lot of money.
Right here, from right here. That's a good point, because Auburn is like an hour and 45 minutes one direction, and same direction going the other way to the beach.
Like a couple of weeks we were in Fort Bragg.
North.
Yeah, it's beautiful there.
Glass Beach.
And it's beautiful there.
Dude, this is all in California.
Yeah,
you can get there from right here in Stockton. I talked to a lot of people who live in Stockton, who've been in Stockton forever, and they don't realize or never thought about how centrally located they are. We're close to everything. We can do anything.
And you want to go to the mountains? You're right there.
Right there. And not just mountains. You're talking Tahoe.
And then you're able to go to San Francisco, Half Moon Bay. I was there in Half Moon Bay last week.
Yes.
Had a great time there. So California is real nice.
It's got one of the best beach lines in the country, and really in the world, if you think about it.
So that's
subjective. But
and how was San Francisco?
I loved it. I love San Francisco. We had a good time. The only thing that was kind of different this time around, so we go into the rural areas where there's some hiking trails and stuff like that. 'Cause that's what we like to do.
Yes. Yeah, you guys are hikers, yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing is, this time there was a lot of signs, those little sandwich board signs.
Okay.
That say, lock up all your valuables, don't leave valuables inside, stuff like that. And I didn't understand that because I never had a problem, and I've been there several times.
Yeah, I've seen a clips recently of people parking their cars and going down to the beach or going down to the piers, and people have been breaking into, you know, and
That's crazy. It scares you a little bit.
it's scary because I mean I've never seen that before.
Mm-mm.
Especially, you know, I heard like yesterday or the day before they robbed one of those high-end stores in San Francisco. I think $45,000 worth of goods were stolen from that.
How does that happen?
It's crazy how they're turning San Francisco into that crime, you know.
So when you think of the San Francisco, it's so close to Oakland, and you guys know it's right there across the bay,
The
really.
bridge, yeah.
And Oakland is known for that. They're the number one. For years, they were the number one deadliest town in America, deadliest city in America, and Stockton was number 2.
Stockton was number 2.
And for years, they were in the top 10. Any list you have, anybody that compiles the list, it's a top 10, at least a top 10, usually top 5.
Yeah, there was one many years ago, maybe 2012 or 13. There was a lot of murders in Stockton. I think close to 100 in 1 year.
Oh my gosh.
It was pretty bad, but it seems like everything calmed down.
But the thing is, I moved in 2013, and I heard all that. I never saw it.
Well, I saw it, but like I said, it never affected me directly. But it's so sad how San Francisco is turning into, you know.
I hope, and I hope it doesn't go that way, because I do, like I said, I love San Francisco. It's one of my favorite cities I've been to. And just because of the level changes, you go up, you go down, and the melting pot, there's so many people there. And they speak all different languages.
Yeah,
a whole
it's
bunch of-
multicultural.
It's fun.
city,
It's
yeah.
really, I love that kind of stuff. Everybody's included there.
But and then, but what do you think? Do you think who's responsible for all this crime? Is it the government? Is it the police? Or is it people are just taking advantage of the situation?
Okay, so if I'm in Texas, obviously it's the police and they crack down, right?
Yes.
But California's a little bit different. I feel like from the outside looking in, because I feel like California's a little different. They rely on the cities and they rely on the state governor. Like the governor's got to do something. To me, it's the city. The city has to do it. The cops there have to do it. Maybe they're soft because they've never had to deal with it. I don't know.
I think there's certain cities like is there a city called here Odell?
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a white city.
Mhm.
White, you know, mostly white people live there.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that city is very nice. The way everything's run, people protect their city, protect their towns,
Yeah.
you know, and I kind of blame it on the government, to be honest.
I don't. I mean, I can see how you can, but to me, like the people that protect those towns, they're small towns. Oakdale's small. It's kind of comparing apples to oranges because Oakdale is a little town compared to San Francisco.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how many people Oakdale might have 50,000.
Yeah.
Where San Francisco's probably got 250,000 or more.
But you know, like I said, I don't know if it was last year. I guess Gavin Newsom passed a law, or some people out there in Sacramento passed a law in which I think if it's under, I might be wrong. If it's under $1,000, it's not considered like a big crime. It's more like a misdemeanor.
I've heard that. I have heard that actually.
So I
I've
think-
heard if it's under 100, you can't even say anything to
Yeah. So I think it's the government who's bringing this kind of state down. You know.
I think that
And it's probably
those kind of rules help bring it down.
And,
They
and
really
I
do.
think it's because of, I mean, the Democratic Party. I don't know about you, you know. What do you think?
I think that
Look, because if you think about it, look at these Democratic states such as I think Chicago, Portland, and Oregon, these New York, they're mostly run by Democratic parties. And look at the situation from them.
the only thing I can say to that is anywhere there's
Los
people,
Angeles too.
where there's people, there's crime. I mean, I don't think you can put that on any party because people vote Democratic anyway. Everywhere
Yes.
you go, people vote Democratic. And if you look at them, all of the polls, throw those out the window because the truth is the Democratic Party, people vote Democratic. If you don't have electoral college, you're gonna have Democrats all the time voting. as a president. Their popular vote almost always goes to the Democrat,
That's true.
and people vote Democratic. So you get a whole bunch of people together. They're going to be Democratic cities, and it doesn't matter who the governor is. It doesn't matter. Just people do that.
But I know you used to live in back in New Mexico, right?
Yeah,
Albuquerque.
yeah, Albuquerque.
Did you see this kind of stuff in Albuquerque?
I did.
You did?
I did. Honestly, I did. I did because over there was on the rise was stolen cars.
Stolen cars?
Not breaking into cars, they're stealing cars. There's stealing cars everywhere. That they had a lot of, just a lot of auto theft. They were like number one in the world for a while, in the nation for a long time. If I'm not mistaken, you guys can fact check us on this kind of stuff because we're just regular people
Yeah, we're
talking.
talking about issues that are going on. You know?
And I know for a fact when I was there, everybody was talking about how high it is. You know, people know.
Yes.
The people who live in the city know. And I work construction. We go to this place. We go to this place. I talked to a lot of people there, and that's basically what they said is watch out for your cars, watch out where you
So you're telling me like smaller cities like in Texas where your parents live. You don't see this kind of stuff, right?
Okay, smaller cities. There's more crime as far as personal crime. People attack each other all the time. There's a lot of racism.
Yes.
Like you talking about Oakdale being mostly a white community. So what happens when all the other types of
Let me tell you something. I was in we went to a couple. We started going a lot to Carson City, Nevada.
Okay.
You know, and it's a very nice city. Shout out to Carson City. You know, I like it.
Whatever they're doing there.
You know, and it's real nice. I like how clean the city is.
What I like is, okay, I've been there. You see, it's not exactly a melting pot, but you do see a lot of people there, from a lot of Hispanics there. You see a lot of white people there. You see,
and like I said, the white people were real nice to us every time.
Everybody,
you know, in Carson City. And I went there and I actually thought about in the future I might move into Carson City just to get away. You know, Nevada. I like Nevada. You know,
it lures you in. It's calm. It's nice. People are nice there. Nobody's looking down on anybody.
Yes.
It seems like everybody's. Again, I've only been there 3 or 4 times, but we spent the night there a couple of times, and we stayed there for a weekend, and a couple of weekends actually. And yeah, I agree. I agree.
Like I said, like I saw at the end, and you don't see that stuff that's happening over here in San Francisco, because it does bug me, you know, because people work hard. I work hard.
Yes.
To, you know, to have a car, to have a house, to
have your laptop in your car. You want.
And then I go and these guys that don't work, you know, and
they want easy money.
They want to take your stuff, you know, and it's ever since that Black Lives Matter issue came up, I seem like everybody try to take advantage of the situation. Like they were breaking into stores, stealing, you know. So what do you think of Black Lives Matter?
I think that it started out great, but then both sides hijacked it for political purposes. Because if you think about it, Black Lives Matter, who's going to argue with that? Black Lives Matter. I mean, you're going to tell me Black Lives don't matter? That's the only other side to that is Black Lives don't matter.
I'm probably going to get hate, but I think all lives matter.
All lives do matter.
You know, because on God's eyes, we're all the same, you know.
And that's true too.
So, the Black Lives Matter agenda, I don't know. It seems like they hijacked it.
To me, they was. Because, like I said, if somebody says, hey Daniel, Mexican lives matter, then I'm gonna say, all lives matter. Like I'm dismissing a whole group of people like they don't matter. You know, like they're no more important than me, but nobody's saying that.
But you know what? I noticed like a lot of these African American basketball players, football players, even people on TV.
Yeah.
They were Black Lives Matter, you know, this and that, which is fine, you know. But I want to see those people come out now, say like LeBron James, you know, different kind of these high profile people.
Yeah.
How come they don't come and talk against these cars?
Stuff that's happening there.
People getting breaking, you know.
I think that we're confusing things with regional versus across the country. Because it's just happening in San Francisco. It was happening in Albuquerque, like you just said.
Yes.
We're talking about.
Yeah, but this thing. Hopefully, we're able to put a clip later on. It's getting 30, 40 cars are getting breaking into. I'll show that. That's crossing the line, you know.
Yeah, that's too much.
People are. What is? Like I said, what is the city doing? What is the government doing about this?
That I don't know. You you guys know, let us know what they're
let us
doing
know,
about
you
it,
know.
because we don't live there. We just go and see
You
it.
don't
We
see,
know
but it's frustrating to see how people want
I
to go
don't
in
want to see those signs. I'm telling you,
and
those
enjoying
signs.
their afternoon with their family and hard work, and they go spend their money over there in San Francisco and different places too, And these guys just go in there and take stuff like it was,
Yeah, I mean that's everywhere. Like I said, it's cycles. You can't really blame it on just one thing. Like Alabama, I lived in Alabama. That's as red as you can get. And the biggest thing I saw in Alabama, no offense to my Bama fan, I love my people, but there's a lot of racism in Alabama, and there's some crime there too. But and I know there's some homelessness, but I didn't see it. I mean, it's been like 10 years ago or 20 years ago I lived there, but. There's some homelessness there too. It's just not like here. I think over here.
I remember growing up, because right now in Stockton, we do have a big homeless problem in
Yes.
Stockton,
Yes.
And it seems like our mayor, Kevin something. Our mayor, he hasn't. He's actually a Republican.
Our current mayor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin.
I was thinking of Silva.
No, it's Silva.
There was one before that.
And he seems like a conservative person, but I don't see a lot of changes going on, Downtown, there's a lot of homeless people there.
Talking about, we're going to talk about Stockton there for a minute because
Yes.
we both live in Stockton. I live close to Stockton. I'm consider Stockton my home, but I think that Stockton has come a long way from the 1 and 2 most dangerous cities in the nation to where they are now. I don't know what they are now.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's still dangerous.
but it's not bad. What bothers me is like in downtown Stockton, there's a waterfront.
Beautiful area. It's
area.
really pretty there.
And I used to take my family because I like fishing. I like fishing, and I used to take my family on the afternoons to go fish on the piers.
The delta there,
yeah. And lately it's been real bad. You got homeless people camping in right downtown where people go and try to enjoy time with.
So that I don't understand. I mean, I get it to a certain point, but you can't let that happen if you want to have your city to be thriving and you want to have people
Yes.
come to your city. Because I love coming there too. When I first moved in, I lived right there downtown in that
Yes.
the Waterfront Hotel.
Yes.
I lived there for like 8 months before I found a place,
Yes.
and I really enjoyed living there. I'd go out walking, but I saw it, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to go out today. But
And how do you think that problem can be solved?
I think you just have to. You got rules in the books. You got to follow the rules. I mean, I know. In case you haven't guessed it already, I do lean left, and this guy does lean right. So, and it's obvious by the way we're talking here.
It's crazy. He's from Texas, but he's blue.
Yeah.
No, I don't consider myself I believe it. I'm a Christian man.
I believe the way I see you,
But
you do lean to the right a bunch further than I do. But I see you as.
I'm just I put God, family, and country.
Yeah. You kind of have to.
But like I said, the issues here, it's getting bad.
The thing about putting country, you have to put country, but even the Democrats put country first. The thing is, they want to have a country for everybody. And the problem with the Republican Party, the way it's shaped right now, is the Republicans want country the way they want it set up. Especially those evangelicals, they want country. Yeah, you're part of this country unless you do this, unless you're part of this group, or unless you're part of this
But
group.
you can understand. I'm a father, right?
Mm-hmm. I raised 3 girls too. Just say
We have kids. I don't favor both kids have to be treated the same.
Mm-hmm.
Equal. We have to find a middle ground. And it seems like now it's leaning more towards the left. Whatever the left wants, that's what they're getting.
I think not. I don't think so. Look at like the abortion law just got turned. The cake guy.
Yeah.
That's another one that's not leaning towards the left. That's going way to the right. And to me, if you're on the right side of the aisle, that side, your agenda is to put people back 100 years. That's what you're doing. If you're like LGBTQ, SJ, whatever, it's too many letters. I mean, I'm with you guys. LGBT. I'm with you. I mean, 10 of those letters are a little out of hand. But anyway, my point is, if those guys are set back, what's next? Hispanics, Muslims.
No, but they're not.
Non-Christians.
They're not being set back.
They are
as
though.
a citizen.
They are though.
The same rights to LGBT and ABC, whatever they call it, and whatever the rights you have, it's the same rights.
It's not. It's not.
Yes.
If you take
You
away
can,
somebody's
you're
right,
able to get a job.
if you
you're
take
able to work.
if you take away somebody's right to be married, that's a big step in the LGBT. Also, like, okay, another one. We just had this thing in the Supreme Court that just turned up affirmative action. That is going to go right back to where we were 20 years ago, and that was horrible. And everybody's going, well, we need to be on merit. The thing is, if you have a whole bunch of, I'm just going to say it, if you have a whole bunch of white people in charge of who gets into their system, who do you think they're going to let in? It's the way it is. I've lived it. I know it. I'm 50 years old. I know what's going on. I've been in business my whole life.
But think about it. California 20 years ago was much better than how it is right now.
I don't know. The economy's
I mean,
almost number 4 if it isn't already. It's flip-flopping with Germany. It's one of the best economies in the world.
that's true. But who's putting all those jobs? It's the farm worker, the farms, and all. They're providing that, making that up.
And what I like about that is that California knows they need those laborers to come in from Mexico. They come in from wherever they come in from. Even the ones that are here, undocumented, documented, whoever can do that job, that's who they want there. Look what happened to DeSantis. He found out the hard way. We need these people. You know, you can't just run your mouth, run your head, and expect. California knows they need these people, and they bring them in here for a reason. They court them. They give them. I say them. You know what I mean. They give people that even if they don't have. Why do you think people that are undocumented in California can get a driver's license?
And it's actually a good thing, you know that, because by you having a driver's license, you're able to get insurance.
You're documented. You are documented. I don't care what you say.
You're able to.
They have your address on file.
Yeah,
they got everything. They can find you. They can come get you if they want to come get you.
You know, but a lot of you also provide for, you provide to the economy too. You know,
So
by you working, by you paying, buying, even by buying. Mexican people like to play lotto tickets.
Lotto tickets, yeah.
Scratchers.
No, that's true, yeah. So what that means, you're saying it opens up the economy for everybody.
For everybody.
And that just gets more and
You know,
more
also
dollars.
the gas. Mexican, a lot of they put a lot of gas.
No, they got
that tax.
I'll tell you what, go to any park in California. Go to any park in California, and you'll see Hispanics there having a good time, paying their way in, paying the gas money to get there, buying hot dogs, hamburgers, beer, tequila, whatever, and ribeye steaks and ribs, whatever they want to cook out there. They're a big part of the economy. Why do you? If you take that group of people out, you get a good point there. You take that group of people out, that we will not be competing for number 4 in the world.
That's true. But also there has to be a fine line, because if you are undocumented, right, and you're driving drunk, you're beating on, or
now you're starting to sound like Trump.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying it's you have to have a good conduct too,
But that's for anybody. That's not.
But I'm saying that
to me, if you have a license, you're part of everybody. You're not. Your license says California on it. It may not say the gold or what is that one?
The real ID.
The real ID. It may not be a real ID, but it's a license. So everybody who has a license is on the same footing for the most part. So the rules apply to all.
Yeah, but like I said,
all of us.
It's a privilege.
Yes,
it's a privilege.
It is.
So you need to take advantage of that privilege and That's
the same thing with anybody though. That's not just undocumented. That's everybody.
No, I'm not against undocumented.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying as the Hispanics or Latinos, we have to have a good conduct.
Yeah, true.
Lead by example.
I agree with you there. But see, Hispanics are just like any other group. Hispanics, you got black people, white people, Asians. It's all the same. You got good group and you got the bad group. And the thing is that I know what you're saying. That because it is a privilege, and California is granting that privilege to you. You should be grateful.
Yes, grateful.
Yeah, which I know I know a lot of people are, and there's some that are straight up assholes. They're not gonna.
I think everybody has good people and bad people.
Yeah, but I agree with what you're saying. But I guess the bottom line is, California knows they need these people, and they do cater to them to a certain extent, but they're also using them. They're paying these guys cheap labor. They're over there.
Some of these guys make good money.
Yeah, but they're working 60 hours or more a week, and like I live out in rural, I say Stockton, but I live just outside of Stockton, and I'm passing people out there picking onions, and I came up here. When I leave for work in the morning, they're there. When I went back home, they're there, and when I went back out into the street again in the evening, they were still there.
And,
So,
and let's be honest, they do the work that we don't want to do.
I don't want to do it.
I don't wanna do it.
I
You know,
couldn't
can
do it. Honestly, I
So-
could probably last maybe an hour or two,
You know,
but
and I can think about it when DeSantis started coming up as a, popular guy.
yeah,
I kind of liked him a little bit, because especially when during COVID, when he went to the university and
Mhm.
people have their face covered, and he's like, take it off, and he looked like a likable guy, but then I guess he started being more like Abbott, Greg Abbott. It's Greg
Yeah.
Abbott,
yeah, picking up those migrants and sending them to
You know, it's
Kamala
like-
Harris's house or whatever. That's the dumbest thing I've ever
And
heard.
the thing is, like a lot of these, like I said, I'm independent. Like I said, I believe in,
I think I would agree with you. For what I know of you.
yeah, because I don't, but I say a lot of these,
You might be more center than. No, you're more right still, but you can be considered.
No, because like I said, a lot of these, like Greg Abbott,
Mhm.
they're supposed to be
DeSantis.
they believe in being Christians and God and love
Yeah.
and the way they treat these.
So the thing is, they say they do, but you can't know somebody's heart, but you can see their actions.
That's true, but like I said, that's the only conflict I have where they say they like say Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Remember all these people that came from Ukraine before the war, they let them come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then and they gave them help and all this stuff, right? But then people that are actually fleeing from stuff like in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
That's terrorism out there.
Mhm.
People are being terrorized by the cartels,
Yep. By big time. Yeah,
and
for
a lot of
sure.
them come to the border and they want to ask for asylum and they don't let them come in, or rarely do,
Yeah.
And I feel like
There's a double
it is-
standard.
Yeah,
there.
there's double standard,
So why are you Ukraine? What's the difference?
I don't know if it's because of the color of the skin or the eyes,
Sometimes
I don't know. I'm just saying,
Sometimes it makes sense to me that there is a lot of that still going on, but that's why I'm on the left, because we fight against that. Meaning we the left. I mean, I'm not the left movement. I'm nowhere near that. But I do believe in that side. I'm not an activist. This is about the most activism I do. And I talk to people obviously, but I think that's what happens on the left. You don't want to have that happen to anybody. So I heard something that said the left, the Democrat, we'll just say Democrat, it's easier. The Democrats will feed 100 people thinking one might need it, and the Republicans won't feed anybody thinking one might be stealing. And there's a little bit of truth to that too.
But you know what? Especially me in California growing up, I remember when I was growing up, I used to love Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
I thought he was for us.
I think he was for us. I think he
for
really
Bill Clinton and
balanced budget. He was probably the best.
But then
fiscally
as I started growing,
yeah,
and I started not listening to, I actually listened to, did all kinds of news outlets,
yeah,
and I started comparing how the Democratic Party runs things. They're the same thing as the Republican. But you know what? Hey, I forgot, my bad. Republicans. When Ronald Reagan, he gave the amnesty in I think '86 or.
I heard that. Yeah.
And it was under a Democratic, Republican president.
Yeah, I did hear that too.
And then Obama, he gave the DACA program.
Yeah, which was a big thing.
It was a big thing too.
And everybody was voting for that. That's a big deal. There's very few people that would rally against that, saying, "Oh, I don't know why they're doing that."
But there is people, I'm like, a lot of these. I'm talking about DACA. I think you should help these people get at least a green card,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
We have a lot of people out there in the workforce that are doing good things for the doctors, teachers,
Yes, exactly.
scientists.
Yeah, exactly.
They have good records.
But that's another reason that I dislike Trump so much, because
He tried to take
all
the
you hear
program
him is he did try to take the program down. But you're talking about doctors, you're talking about all these professionals that we're training here. But all he highlights is they're bringing their crime, they're bringing their drugs, they're bringing their rapists. That's Trump. You heard that speech, right? Everybody, it was all over the place for a long time there, and he still almost got elected.
But what do you think of Trump? To be honest.
What do I think of him?
Yeah.
I think Trump is a dirty, rotten scoundrel. I really do, and I think he's a racist. I think he talks a lot of crap, but he can't back it up. Like he has that Bible in his hand, right? He's paying off porn stars, and people buy that up. They lick it up, saying, "Oh man, he's a Christian man. That's why I vote for him." The only reason is because he said that he was going to put a stop to, which he did, to abortion. There, you cannot have a one single issue. You can't have a single issue and call yourself a party. Because I don't know what else except for tax breaks for the rich.
But what about Biden? What do you think?
Okay, I need one word: infrastructure. That guy, and you know how many jobs it's going to make. You know how many people are. That's going to bring us out of any recession. It's going to take a while, but we'll get out of there.
I'm gonna during the Trump administration as a business, those were the best years that we ever had as a business. During the Trump presidency.
What changed? I mean,
right now,
under Obama, you were going up too.
You were going up, but Trump, we had the best years in Trump.
So the way I could say that is Obama teed it up and he just hit it.
No, that's what everybody
You know what I
says,
mean? Which he did. If you look at the numbers, and if you look, the Democrats do. Even Trump said this himself. You look it up. You guys have probably seen that clip already. It's an old Trump clip that says that the economy seems to do better under Democratic
But
presidency.
wasn't he a Democrat back in the 90s? Wasn't he close with the Clintons and all that?
He was, and honestly, that's why I don't like the guy. You can't flip like that, and all of a sudden he's just playing to those people. He said it himself. The Democratic Party does better, and if you look at all of the metrics that go with that, they do. The Democratic. Look at Bill Clinton, the last great one.
But I think Trump was a good president. To me, he was a good president.
Okay.
I just think he crossed the line with the Mexican, his arguments.
That too, and okay, the white supremacy. Look at them; they're on the rise again. They were gone. They were basically defeated, just like ISIS. They were defeated, and then here comes Trump coming, talking about whites, black people, talking about Black Lives Matter, calling people.
So you don't think he did anything good?
I think he did all right. He didn't fumble the football. He did great as far as that goes. He kept the economy going okay. But then if you look at it, what happens with the Republicans? They do great, and then 4 years later, the bills start coming in. That's why. Look what happened. How much money did he cut out of our budget by those $1 trillion tax cuts? You can't do that. Then all of a sudden, hey, how are we going to pay for all this? Well, dude, you took away all the money. You took away how many trillions of dollars worth of income for our, and then he spent a lot more than he put in.
I don't know.
You
Like
can't
I
do
said,
that. You're it's like a 401k looking really good. So
I like to be in the middle and see what's right and what's wrong. I think he's a good guy.
He's not. How's he a good guy?
I mean,
Explain good guy in your.
he is a businessman.
With sticks.
He is.
How can a good businessman?
I
have
just
six
think
bankruptcies?
he was a good guy. If he just would have laid back a little bit on the immigration thing, he would have been reelected. And I think also he was hanging around with the Steve Bannon and the other guy. Those guys were racist.
Roger, whatever his name is.
No, it was the other
Roger
guy,
Stone.
Steve something, bald guy.
I don't know who that is.
But I guess
I know Bannon though. Look at these. That's another thing. You say he's a good guy. He's going to hire the best people. Look at how many people went to jail that were part of his group.
But
How's that a good guy?
But they never really found any collusion.
They did though. They did. If you look at it, they did. They just if you see the Mueller, he said, "Did you see that he's? Can you absolve him of any collusion? No, we can't. Can you prosecute him?" He said, "I couldn't do that because that wasn't part of my purview. That wasn't his. He wasn't there to do that. He was there to find collusion, which he did, and he sent it out. And then his little buddy, what's his name, Barr, said, "Oh no, there's no collusion." But then you put it out there, and there's plenty of people that you can look. There's plenty of people that see it. It's in there.
I don't know.
They found it. They found it.
Like I said, I think they're all politics.
Okay.
Because Biden too. If you think about it, what has Biden done for the undocumented people?
Nothing.
See, and they
Same
always
thing as Trump.
No, but I mean, he tried to take it away. But I'm saying, they always Democratic Party. They always run with the agenda that they're going to help our Hispanic community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they're in power, it seems like they forget about a lot of the promises.
I think you're right about that because they never have to. There's been a couple of times in the last 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is, where they've had all three branches and they don't do anything. There's always something that comes up that we can't get in.
And then that's the only thing. And then what bothers me too is, like I said, we're a little earlier we were talking about the homelessness here, and everything's so expensive. We do need a lot of, how some roads need to be. I was in Texas; those roads are bad.
Texas is they don't have. You guys already know this. Texas does not have a state tax, but every time I come to California and I look around at these roads, I'm super surprised. There was a road that we were talking. My wife and I passed it all the time, and it's bumpy. It had holes in it. I'm dodging them, which I'm from Texas, so I'm used to that. But just last week or a few weeks ago, they paved it already like that.
Corpus Christi, we were going, where the airport's at.
Yeah.
If you take the back ways, some of those roads are real bad.
They'll bury your car. They'll tear up your bottom.
I'm just like, wait a minute,
Yeah, they'll tear up your leaf spring.
But like I said, they've never done anything. Joe Biden hasn't done anything. He's given all this money to Ukraine.
He passed the infrastructure bill.
But look at the homeless here, the homeless situation here.
Okay, it's been like that forever.
But you're giving billions and billions of dollars to other countries.
So the thing is,
for what?
Okay, so I could also turn that over and say, why are you giving all these billionaires tax cuts when we got all these homeless people? There's only so many things you can do with it.
But the billionaires, the big corporations, they provide jobs. They provide.
Here's the thing about billionaires: they provide jobs, and I agree with you.
Yes.
But I don't like the fact that they get money from the government to start it. Like Elon Musk, how much money did he get from the government?
Yeah, but look at what he do with it. He hires so much people here in California. Amazon, you see Amazon, how many jobs they provide in California? Warehouses all over the place.
I don't have a problem with that, but he's
providing jobs. They're providing building buildings for them. They're providing work for construction workers, for delivery truck drivers, for everything. So how can you tax those people more when they're already providing for us?
Because how are they doing it? One, they're getting money from the government. Two, they're not paying their taxes at all. They're giving tax exempt status for I don't know how many years.
So what do you think the government should do? Give that money to who?
They're using all our infrastructure that they didn't build. There's a couple of places, they build a road or two. I've seen some new stores, new businesses come in. Like whenever we have refineries come in or something like that, they have to, they pay for that, which of course they're going to. But you're talking about just one street. They're using millions of miles of roads between here and to all across the country.
I feel like the domino effect of them of helping those companies. Imagine if you wouldn't help Jeff Bezos.
Okay, so the thing is, how many things you bought from Amazon in the last year? Hundreds?
Not hundreds, but a lot.
Well, probably hundreds.
Yeah.
Between the two of us, probably hundreds.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna buy that stuff somewhere else? It has to be Amazon?
They make it easier for us.
They do make it easier.
They make us lazy.
But my point is that all the small businesses that go out because of that, all of the people that you're gonna buy that stuff anyway. So I get it. There is a big point. It's so much easier. I love Amazon, by the way. I use it. It's nice. Find anything on it. But my point is, he needs to pay his taxes. Why should he pay less taxes than me or a nurse or a teacher?
Look at how much jobs he provides.
Look at how much stuff that we as a group, say Californians, how much do we buy?
A lot.
We're doing it.
But it's a domino effect. The people that deliver to you, they work for the truck drivers that deliver to the warehouses.
Yeah,
the workers that work with him. The airplanes that it's a domino effect. So why are you gonna go after them when they're providing jobs for us? And you don't know how much money. Like I guess Mackenzie Bezos, she's giving a lot of her money away to charities. So why?
That's just another tax break.
I suppose that Jeff is giving money too somewhere.
That's just another tax break. Look, same thing with regular people. We give so much for charity, we're gonna get that back, at least after $2,000, whatever the minimum is. But I get it. I think I agree where you're coming from. I just don't think that it's too much to ask to have somebody pay for stuff, because if America's good for you, you need to be good to America.
Well, they do.
Pay your people right. Pay them good money. Remember back in the day, I'm talking about in the 80s, everybody talked about going in the auto industry because they paid well, and the reason they paid well is because they made a lot of money. They sold a lot of cars and made a lot of money. They paid their employees well. Somewhere along the way, companies stopped going to that. They started paying their CEOs more money, and they started cutting costs.
So
I mean,
you're more
you've seen it.
you're more of the guy that supports the little small store
I love small
instead of
stores.
going to Walmart.
I hate going to Walmart.
I like Walmart.
I don't like Walmart.
I find everything I want at Walmart.
So do you like checking out your own groceries?
Yeah.
Somebody sitting there watching you counting your stuff.
I mean, it's okay. I don't have nothing to hide.
So next time you're just gonna pull it off the shelves like we do at Costco.
Yeah.
They pull it big over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just put the pallets in.
Yeah.
We're doing the work for them.
Like I said, I like Walmart. You know, everything's cheap. They provide
Yeah.
jobs.
I go, but I'd rather have the small stores and
You know, because I get it too.
Mexican markets. I love Mexican markets. They're all mom and pops usually.
You know, I agree with you. But like I said,
I don't go to chain restaurants.
you know,
unless-
oh yeah, you don't.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say any chains. I don't want to shoot anybody down. But I'd rather go to some.
We do
small
go to
stores.
a small restaurant.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Church.
After church.
Yeah, we go to we rarely go to these big.
Rarely, man. We rarely go to some big ones, and then that's for a reason. We do that on purpose too. So you're small business owners.
Yeah, but like I said, I support everybody. You know.
I just think that corporations are getting way too easy, very easy. They're getting, you know what I mean? Because they got all these shareholders they're making money for and all this. And
But it takes money to make money. You know that.
I agree, and I completely agree, 100%. But then again, you need to take care of your people. And like Walmart, perfect example. You brought up Walmart a minute ago. You know what I'm going to say, right? That most of their people, they're the biggest company that has the most people on welfare.
People like that. You know that. It's a secret. People want to make a little bit of money, so that the government doesn't take their benefits. That's why they're there. If you don't think if Walmart people, if you were working at Walmart and you didn't have it good, you would work there.
I think if Walmart paid me $25 an hour, I wouldn't need it. The reason they do it right now is because you're talking about maybe if they make $2, $5, an hour more, that they're not going to need it.
You $25 an hour?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But how much is everything going to cost?
Okay, so why does everybody say cost? Why don't they say profit? Why don't they say instead of making $17 trillion last year, I'm just pulling those numbers out of the air. Let's say they make 15 trillion. You know what I mean? Why is it always cost? Why is it always going to be the consumer that has to pay that price?
I don't believe in paying a lot when everything's going to go up.
But they shouldn't go up.
It does.
But that's my point. That's why corporations are evil.
What happened to the 99-cent cheeseburger before? You can't get that at McDonald's no more.
You can't.
Especially here in California when they pay, I think $21 or $22 an hour, right?
It's a lot. It's quite a bit.
I think it's up there in the 20. So now everything costs more, and we can't spend as much.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and you guys check this out. How much did McDonald's make last year during the pandemic? How much did McDonald's make?
They made a lot of money. Yep.
They made a lot of money. So why aren't we talking about their profits? Why is it always us that has to pay the difference?
Yeah, you're right. You're right in that. You know,
there's a lot, and I get that too. I understand they do that. They get the work. They do. They don't take all the risk. Everybody says, "Well, we took all the risk." Most of these guys, they borrow money. They get money from other people. So corporations, banks, they take the risk, not the owner.
No, hey, the owner. If you buy a franchise, you have to make it run.
Yes, I know, but a lot of times it's on borrowed money. Very few people have that kind of money lying around. It's borrowed. It's the bank.
But I believe, especially as a small business, everything goes up. But we can't pay the wages because we can't afford it as a small business.
Right. Okay, so I personally believe that small businesses shouldn't be taxed that much, especially until they reach a certain threshold of money. I mean, that's how it is, really. That's how it should be.
Especially here in California, thanks to Gavin Newsom, we were in all our trucks. I think 2010 and under, we can't drive them or register them anymore.
Yeah.
Because of the Clean Air Act, whatever.
Yeah, I worked for a trucking company, not really a trucking company, but we had a lot of trucks there.
Yes.
And they got those little yard hustlers, they call them. And now, last thing I heard was they're all electric here.
Yes.
In this one spot, anyway. They're all electric.
Those big corporations, they got those tax breaks. They can buy it.
Yes.
But us small businesses,
they can't handle it. That's what I'm saying. I think small businesses they used to be the lifeblood. They used to be the lifeblood until Walmart showed up and built a better mousetrap, right? So now Walmart showed everybody, hey, you can do this. You can do it in the bulk
Yes.
and start saving more money and pay people less.
But people like going into it because if not, Walmart will be out of business.
Well, that's because they figured it out. You know, they just charge less by in bulk.
But yeah,
That's why all these small businesses got out of business. So
Yeah, because like for us, like I said, if we made money as a business, we would pay more to our employees,
exactly.
right?
I agree. I believe you.
But it's like up and down, you know. Something
You never know.
We're making less money and spending more. How are we going to pay our workers?
Yeah.
You know, it's
To me, it still comes down to the same thing as corporations getting their fair share. I mean, the lion's share of the profits and the very minimum of the taxes, and that's not right.
yeah. I mean, I agree with you. You know, like I said, I'm in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, you
You
can
know,
see both sides of it.
But like I said,
And I see here at point too, they do make a lot of profits, but my thing is it doesn't supersede the fact that they use a lot of American infrastructure. Even the resources are, me and you are a resource.
yes.
I work for a company. They're making money off of me. Otherwise, they couldn't afford to pay me.
Yeah.
If I got paid for what I was worth, they wouldn't be able to be in business because everybody's like that. You know, I'm selling my wage to them, but they have to. The things I produce for them have to
Yes.
be more than what they pay me. Otherwise, it couldn't.
Yeah,
be.
it couldn't.
And that's just business 101. I mean,
Yeah, but like a small business and a small trucking company, they can't compete with your company, with the
Yeah.
company you work with,
right? Yeah, yeah.
because it costs
I agree.
more to run a small business.
Yeah, you have 3 trucks. One of them goes
Yeah.
down, man. 33%
Yeah.
of your work for it. It's
And then
resources
if
gone.
they ask you to have 3 new trucks to keep on running your business because of the air,
Yeah, the company I work for, nothing.
You know,
it's 3 trucks is nothing.
nothing. And a small business, you know, it's gonna hurt them. They're gonna go into close to $1 million
Okay, so
in debt.
it sounds to me like you're on the side of taxing big businesses.
I am. I'm in the middle.
Well, what it is you see what they did, you see
Yeah.
what they do, and you appreciate the fact that they make jobs because you're a small
Yeah.
businessman, you're making jobs.
But I feel like I'm the
I
kind
get
of
it.
person where I believe we should work for what we have.
Which I agree, but do you think people should have 2 or 3 jobs if they work hard?
It takes time. You can't get from here to there.
But that's my point. If somebody like I think it was FDR said if a businessman that cannot have his employees, I'm chopping up the
Yeah.
quote, but if a business can't pay its employees a living wage, they have no business operating in the United States. And somewhere along the way in the Reagan era, we lost it. That's Reaganomics, trickle down,
Yes.
give everybody at the top the money and people at the bottom. And
Hey, but
eventually get to-
Reagan, didn't he get us out of that big recession in the '80s?
Let me think about Reagan. I know he had some good. He was up there, but there towards the end he didn't. There towards the end, he had a lot of small businesses closing down. All the big businesses were shooting up. Getting more. I mean, if I remember, I'll fact check myself here after
Yeah.
this too, because I'm curious now that you brought that up. I remember the '80s, but I was just a kid.
Little kid, yeah.
But I am a student of history too, so I'm sure I did. I know that I heard people say that they were doing pretty good, but then if you look at it in the long term, no, his policies aren't working right now. You see what's happening.
Yeah.
Everything's.
I don't know. I'm kind of like I said. The older I'm getting, I'm kind of like not leaning towards a red, but I kind of like that. Small town.
Yeah. So you're a lot of it. I think is some of the Christian part of it coming in. It's kind of you
I
kind
wanna
of
work
push
hard
to the push to the right.
Yeah, work hard for my family.
Yeah.
Earn whatever. I don't want nothing for free. I want to earn everything that I have.
Right.
Work hard.
But the thing is, I did too. I worked hard. I've made my promotions. I worked hard for that too. But my thing is, I was lucky enough to go into I'm busting my ass. Don't get me wrong. I had some low wages for a while there, but I get it, and I don't want other people to have to bust their ass and go suffer if there's no need to. There's so much money in this country. Shouldn't have to. All these companies, corporations are making millions and billions of dollars, and you've got people in poverty. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I don't think anybody. I don't believe that either. Because I think if you want to get ahead, you have to work. You have to work hard. It's not as easy as you think.
Right. Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if like I said, how can I think a lot of, like I said, going back to the homelessness thing, I think a lot of that is mental issues on people, you know. People,
that's a true. There's a lot of that.
mental health,
A lot
and
of
then drug addiction.
Yeah,
Because, like I said, if somebody that comes from a different country, illegal or legally,
Yeah.
they come here and they're able to better their lives, don't you think people that are American, they should be
so
able to live better, live their life?
so
No one should be living in the streets. This is America.
One thing about that, I think of most of that. I have a friend of mine. I know it's anecdotal, and I know it's just the one thing, but she lived on the street for 4 years. If she has a house, she's had a house, and she's had it forever, and she was living on the street. It's mental, like you just said. It's a mental health issue.
Because I
So
think nobody should be living, especially in it's America.
So who cut those down though? We used to have what do you call
But
it?
it's-
Sanatoriums
yeah.
everywhere. Who shut that down? Reagan.
Yeah, but like I said, it's like a thing. Let me tell you something. There hasn't been a day that I haven't worked because I haven't. Sometimes being, like I say, being a father of a home, having a business, having kids, it's hard.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and
No,
there's
that's
days where
hard.
you go through a lot of things. You know.
And you don't want to go to work.
Yeah, but I've never ever let any of that stuff, keep me down or.
Yeah.
'Cause I have a family to support. I want,
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. But again, some people need help.
I agree.
You know
I
what I mean?
agree.
You're a strong one. You know,
Yeah,
just like most people are. Honestly, if you think about it, most people are. But there are some people who they need help.
And I believe that the help should be there. The help should be there.
Right.
But
Okay, but then now you're talking about social services, like you're talking about where that trillions of dollars are gonna go to.
like I said, yeah, we're giving Ukraine all this money.
Yeah, like I said, we're giving all these corporations tax cuts.
Yeah, but still, those corporations are giving. What is Ukraine doing for us?
They're keeping Russia busy.
See?
You're fighting for freedom. You gotta fight for freedom.
Let them deal with their own issues.
But they won't.
We have that's their problem.
So you understand my thoughts on the Ukraine as well.
Yeah.
We brought that up. Hopefully, we got some time.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So the Ukraine, the United States is giving them how many billions of dollars?
Yeah.
Is that money? It's not money. It's munitions. It's outdated stuff that we don't use anymore. We're not going to use it. The cluster bombs.
Yes.
We're sending cluster bombs. Everybody's mad about that because I mean that's bad. They are bad. But we were going to dismantle them. Why would we have to dismantle them now? We just send them over to Ukraine. We don't have to worry about
Yeah,
dismantling.
but then it costs money to take
It
stuff over there.
does, but that's not a big deal. Honestly,
But then you
think about
got
it.
people living in the streets. You got people
It's
needing
like-
help. I feel like instead of giving all this money away to different countries,
It's like
give it to the people in the country.
It's like the United States is giving Ukraine. It's like you giving $2 to somebody on the street.
Still,
That's how much. That's how big of these numbers are. If you look at the budget every year
yeah.
for the Pentagon, it's way more than, you know what I mean. There's
Yeah,
that's a budget. That's not counting what they've already got.
But first I have to take care of my home, and then I take care of the street.
That's why you like Trump so much.
No, it's not. I'm not. No, I'm not.
I know you're not.
I'm not Trump, but I'm just
I know
saying
you're not.
we have to take care of our country, of this country first.
I think that if you keep doing that and don't worry about what happens in the world, I don't know. I see what you're saying.
You
too.
know, it's like
But the
take
thing is,
care of.
if you let other countries build up like Russia gets with China, that's another thing. Who wants that to happen?
Yeah,
They could take out the United States, maybe.
but
If Russia and China get together, if you put those two together, they could give us a run.
the thing is that we depend so much on China.
But now Russia they're dwindling down to bare bones. You can see what they do. There's no way China's going to want to do that. So if there's anything that our $200 billion got us, it's that
Yeah.
China's not going to align with Russia.
You know, China's very smart. You know.
Yeah, but think about it. If Russia showed up and kicked Ukraine's ass, got all of their resources, there's now we'll talk to you, Russia. Come on.
Yeah,
What are we going to do?
I think Russia's helping them out too. I mean, China's helping Russia.
I think they are. I mean, I don't know, but I don't doubt it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. But that's another thing that they come up. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, for us, even that wouldn't. It's not that big a deal. And when you're
Yeah.
talking about that kind of money, it's not that big a deal.
I still
It's not a lot
I
of
still
money.
believe there's a lot of homelessness. There's a lot of people that need homes. You know, especially here in California, it's so expensive. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I said. I've been to Reno. I've been to and you
Yeah.
talk to people. They're like, oh, California is real expensive. It is expensive, but for us that we live here, it doesn't seem that expensive.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, it's expensive.
it's expensive, but
Yeah, being recently here, you've probably been here your whole life. And, you
Yeah.
have been here basically.
but
your whole
I
life, so-
don't really,
I see it. I know it's expensive, but we were prepared for it. We're getting
Mhm.
ready.
But like I said, I like California.
California, I think, is
Yeah.
the best. Honestly, taxes and all. I mean, just for my lifestyle,
Yeah.
everybody has to make their own decision. I've got friends who just swear by Texas. They'll never leave Texas. But my thing is, if you've never been anywhere but Texas, how do you know? You know, if you're content, I'm happy for you. That's great. But I knew I wanted something more. I knew I wanted to be we like hiking. We like different cultures. We like to try new foods.
Yes.
So California is a place to be. You can go to the snow.
Yeah.
You can go to the snow or you can go to the beach all on the same day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I'll get in your
Yeah,
car.
it's right there. They call it the double, the something double or the duo.
And then
or something.
you want to go to LA? 5 hours away from LA.
LA is not that. It's nice LA.
You
I've
know,
been there
we're
a couple of times.
7 hours from Vegas.
Vegas, I've been. Yeah, it's a jumping off point.
You know,
If you don't mind
so-
driving, which I don't.
You know.
But to me, anything under 4 hours, it's a day trip. I
It's a
can do
day
that.
trip, yeah.
Day trip,
But like I said, I wanna anybody that doesn't like California, you need to come here first and experience being a Californian. You know.
And even you Californians that live in California, and I ask you, hey, have you ever been to this place or this? You can no. Explore your state. You
Yep.
guys just don't know what you got here. I like the way you're
Yeah.
doing it because you
Yeah.
know
No, I
you're
don't
like
go,
us. You know.
I don't really go out of the country, but there's so much to go here. So many places to go.
You could spend years and years
Yes.
and never see all of California.
You know, and then you can go to Shasta.
That's where I just saw that on the map today. I was thinking about that. Might do some camping at that
So
one.
like I said, and then
Weeds area.
yeah. Like I said, well, anybody who wants to come to California, come and experience it, and then
Yeah.
you have a different
Outlook.
outlook on it.
I guarantee it. I guarantee
Yeah, I
it.
guarantee it. But like I
I've
said,
got family members, Texas family
Yeah.
members. Like I'm never going there. That's a leftist state or tofu or something.
but
They've
you know
got all
what?
this stuff talking about.
Everybody talks about. We're almost gonna be done, but everybody talks about California being so liberal. But there is a lot of people, that are conservative here.
Yes,
You know,
surprisingly so.
You know,
And the reason it surprised me is because
You
of
know-
the reputation.
yeah, like you go to say Lodi. Lodi is conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Oakdale's conservative. Escalon.
Yeah.
Up in the
All,
hills,
you're talking about all the rural counties.
all the
yeah.
rural,
Yeah, but you know what the thing is though, those rural towns, what do they count on? A lot of that's farm towns.
yeah.
They count on that migrant labor. So
I agree with you.
so they are conservative, but then again, they understand what's for business. Like Gavin Newsom. You think he just loves those Hispanics? You think he loves us? You think he loves all the
Yeah.
he loves the work we put out.
Yeah.
I say we, I don't do it obviously, but my people,
The people that work with
Yeah.
vineyards and all that.
It's not just my people. Obviously, there's all kinds of people that work those jobs. But the point is, he doesn't just do it for the bottom of his heart. A bleeding heart liberal. There's no such a thing. They do it because of the money that they generate for their economy.
Yeah.
Right? Do you agree with that one?
I mean, but so you have to experience it. Come to California, everybody.
Yeah.
Come it out and try it out.
Don't worry about reputation.
There's no racism here.
No, there's not. I would say not.
Yeah. Well, what's
That's the GoPro.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna die.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Oh yeah, like
But I would say that's a whole different.
Yeah.
You can talk about racism.
now we got more. Hopefully you guys like this. We didn't plan this out. We were just talking and
Right.
we have a lot of these conversations all the time.
All the
And
time.
we're like, why don't we just record it and see what people
Yeah.
But
I plan on talking about a little bit about Christianity.
we have a lot of
Trump.
things we want to talk about. We're just going touching the
Yeah.
it's pieces here and there.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of more of this stuff coming up. you know, hopefully you guys support it. You know.
Yeah, just see if you like it. If you want to hear us talk about a certain topic, put that in the comments too, because
Yes, and
nothing's off limits. Like I said, if
No.
as long as it's keeping it clean, you know.
no, and I understand. Like we, like I said, if you disagree, that's fine. You know, we can disagree and then agree. You know.
Exactly. I don't have a problem with that.
And,
So.
but yeah, hopefully you guys like it and you guys keep on following us. I'm gonna be posting this pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I'll have this up as soon as I can. I mean, hopefully.
And then hopefully
I gotta-
we